Unfortunately, much of World War II is clear from the decisions taken at the end of the First World War. Germany was blamed for causing so much animosity and as a nation was bearing the brunt of blame in the closing days of World War I. The Germans expelled the emperor and became a republic. But as a nation, they entered a deep depression that was exaggerated by a global financial crash. The economy collapsed and currency was worthless amidst this chaos. However, an Austrian politician would stand up to give the nation hope. His name was Adolf Hitler. The Treaty of Versailles had left behind many countries with internal wars. Due to communism that was now growing, there was a right-wing movement in Europe called fascism. It was ruled with an iron fist by the man above. The fascists felt threatened by communism as it tried to distribute wealth fairly among the people. Hitler was a fascist and became the leader of the Nationalist Socialist Party, or Nazi Party, in Germany. He promised German citizens that they would once again be the great and mighty empire they once were. So in the 1930s, when he was elected to power and deceived the country at the end of the First World War by establishing the German Republic and imposing an armistice over the years. He allied with the rising nation of Japan and the fascist state of Italy under the leadership of Mussolini to form the Axis powers in Germany. Under the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was not to put weapons in the areas on the border with France. The war started when Hitler started to win this area again. They then entered Austria and invaded Czechoslovakia. This set alarm bells ringing for the rest of the world. France and Britain saw Germany as a serious threat. British Prime Minister warned Germany not to invade Poland. On September 1, 1939, Hitler invaded Poland and forced Great Britain to declare war on Germany. The German army pushed quickly and effectively across the plains of France, and Great Britain passed through Belgium to meet them, but the German forces were too fast. France quickly surrendered, and Hitler accepted the surrender. Hitler had made an agreement with Joseph Stalin, leader of the Soviet Union, that he would not invade Russia as long as they stayed out of the war. This truce was not to last, since the two men harbored nothing but contempt for each other's ideals. Hitler finally decided to invade Russia, and the initial months of the campaign were extremely successful for the Germans. Russia was to lose over 20 million people in this war, the most by any nation. While Hitler was busy conquering Europe, the United States of America was watching from the outside. The ambitious Japanese Empire had already invaded parts of China and French Indochina before the war and planned to expand across the Pacific. On December 7, 1941, they led a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, which caused enormous destruction and terrible shock across the United States. The attack was intended to stop U.S. interference, but Japan had awakened the sleeping giant, and the United States of America declared war on Japan. On the other hand, Germany declared war on the United States just as the war in Europe had begun. The Allies continued to move through Italy, and German forces were just arriving to take over the defense. Carrying out a massive landing of troops in Normandy, they fought their way into France and finally secured their position. Allied leaders Roosevelt and Stalin met in Crimea to plan the future of Europe. It was Russia that reached Berlin first, and a week later, the Nazis surrendered. The war in Europe was now over, and the United States was still at war with Japan across the Pacific. They had been planning an invasion of Japan when the scientists had finished developing their secret weapon. It was an atomic bomb. On August 6, 1945, the Americans dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima, and many people were killed. People who survived the first explosion died days later because of radiation poisoning from the radioactive bomb. America then dropped another atomic bomb on Nagasaki a few days later. At the end of the Second World War, the ethical question still persists as to whether it was right to use such a destructive bomb. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Leave a like if you want to see more of these videos. It really helps our channel. But for now, I hope to see you again soon.